not no pilgrim stuff.
Man.
Y'all really did treacherous stuff, fam.
Bruh. Man, it's wild, man. It's wild, man. But I guess to continue the conversation that which we started last week.
Maybe that's why I don't feel it.
Talk about
Last week, man, we had a conversation basically about young women that which get pregnant in the church. And, you know, we shared a moment in time where we wasn't judging anybody. We was just speaking on how most of the time, I don't know how much this happens today, but growing up, I just remember when a young girl gets pregnant in the church, the parents are trying everything they can to make that young girl go ahead and get married to that young man. Just to make sure, you know, like we talked about last week, it was mostly for the parents, you know, their face. It wasn't really for the child. Like, they were pushing that narrative to make the child go and get so they can, you know, make it look better on their family as opposed to thinking about what this child is going to have to live through with a young man that don't even, you know, ain't even ready for all that. So what we neglected to do last week, and it was basically because of time restraints, we ain't really get to talk about the young men in these situations. Because one thing that we do know is that for any young woman to get pregnant in church, there was a young man or a man involved in order to make this occur. So based on the conversation that we had last week, I think only Sister Marie wasn't here, but I'm going to Sister Marie so Timon can clear. She could catch on real quick. But with everybody else, man, what are y'all thoughts on the fact of the young men? Like how do we start this conversation with the young men that which are involved in these situations? Because we understand that there is a lot of shame that goes upon that young girl for walking around with that belly. But, you know, these young boys, these young fathers, they could sit in the cut, you know what I'm saying? They can deny it. They could do all types of things. But what are y'all thoughts on the young men that are getting young women pregnant in the church?
I'll start.
They need to start making them take responsibility also. That's because they know they can get away with it. It's always the girl's fault, but not the boy's fault. Or it's a saying, which is a dumb one, boys will be boys.
Feel that?
And that's just not, it's not fair, it's not right. And they grow up like that. To know they can do whatever, they'll get away with it. Oh, I'm a boy. They grow up to, oh, I'm a man.
Well, I'll say this.
I respect that. The fact that we only gonna be talking about men, I can't really hit you with the rebuttal that I would want to, but but we can't yet. So let's stick to it. But I respect that 100% because you're speaking from a woman's perspective. And that's what we love about these conversations that we have on Late Night Love Ties. You always going to get the real perspective from real individuals. What's up, Kent Neff?
I was going to say that the young man is responsible for taking care of that baby. You understand me? You lay with that woman, you take care of that baby. But he's not responsible for taking care of that woman if they're not together. And I think this is where a lot of conflict occurs because, you know, a young teenager who's pregnant, man, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of, you know, overthinking, a lot of, you know, things is going on. And, you know, sometimes, you know, it makes the woman, you know, the young lady, you know, attached to that guy. You feel me? Because that's the first person she probably ever did anything with, and that's her first kid, right? I've seen young teenagers where, like, they don't want to be with shawty no more. But they're willing, you know what I'm saying? They just want to, you know, do what they got to do for the kid.
But do you think they ever wanted to be with him? Or were they just trying to get one off?
Well, in some cases, you know, they probably had some puppy love going on, but in most cases, nah, they got one off.
I got a question for you
Mm-hmm.
now. Why did you said that the young man or whatever is not responsible to taking care of the woman if they're not together? Why you say that? Because
at the end of the day, you know, it's the baby. It's all about the baby. If y'all not together, then what's there to take? There's nothing like, I feel like he's not obligated to take care of that young lady. It's all about the baby. If he's taking care of that baby, then he's doing his job. But the problem,
right? I get that. If she's not straight, the baby's not gonna be straight.
But here's the thing. But the thing is, but here's the thing though, right? Here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not trying to, like, because I know some people been into this situation. It could be very tender and sensitive, but the truth of the matter is, like, and this might just suck. The truth of the matter is, when a guy lay with a woman, you feel me, he don't have to stay with that woman. Even if he got one off, he's not obligated to stay with her. Now, if she's pregnant, right, and that's his child, the responsibility is on, he's supposed to take care of that child. You feel me? Now, what's happened is that the young lady grows an attachment and feel like, no, my baby, you gonna take care of this baby because the baby is attached to me.
But let's before you go too far with it, let's stick right there. What young woman ever wants to get pregnant by a random guy?
Right.
Thank you.
You feel me? Like you got to keep that in perspective too, because obviously it was a mistake. Like we talked about last week. Like most of us in this room, most of the people that's watching right now on live, you was a mistake. Like your people's, they just messed around and had something. They was listening to R. Kelly or they was listening to Zengland. They were listening to somebody.
I don't know about R.
And,
Kelly.
And like what you
what you mean R. Kelly? R. Kelly had.
Not our parents.
Not all parents.
That's why I said Zengland. That's why I went to
He put the
Zengland.
Zengland in there.
Yeah, you know we go Kylie, me, whatever. The Lulu. Your peoples was listening to somebody, and there was some drinks in the room,
Probably
and
that
just know
Tropicana.
it happened. And you know, like 9 months later, you popped out. So, but I'm telling you, I don't personally think any woman grows up with the mindset that I just want to have a child with a random person. So,
right.
the fact that they get pregnant by a random person, I don't think that is more. I don't think it's more or less.
Okay.
I need to make sure I'm a unit. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so wait a minute. So wait, let's
hold on, Neff.
Go ahead, sorry,
I
go
ain't
ahead.
gonna lie. I agree with you though, Neff. I don't feel like he's supposed to take care of the woman per se. You feel me? If
It would be
if
nice.
she get benefits from him doing his job, as in doing for his kid, then okay. But him to actually have to do more than what he's supposed to do, which is responsibility for the jit, he has no connection to the female.
But are you saying like what about? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tasha.
No,
No,
it was
Esther.
that was Esther.
Like with
Okay.
that mindset, like you know how much times or how many problems you could avoid just by throwing a bit like an extra 200. Just even if you don't care, just pretend like you care.
To be honest, it depends on the baby mother, because if I give you 200, there's baby mamas that would take that 200 and go vibe with it.
I'm
You're
saying
right.
for
No, she's
her,
saying
not
extra.
for the
She said
baby.
extra.
Oh,
yeah.
just to give you $200
Extra for the mother.
He said for nothing.
No, he's not obligated to do that.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know how many problems you could avoid. just
Bump
by
that.
doing
What's the
that.
problem?
I don't. Here's the thing.
Y'all didn't-
But here's the thing, right?
y'all
Child
said y'all
support.
had
But-
baby mama problems.
But here's the thing though, right? Like for real, like at the end of the day, bro, if like you said, just to go off what you said, let's say they are in a relationship, it wasn't something he just got off. It wasn't a random person. This is somebody that she allowed to let this guy slide in, quote
Somebody that's
unquote.
probably been lying
You feel what I'm
the
saying?
whole time.
So at the end of the day, right? You feel me? Because everybody's relationship may be different, but at the same time, if there's consensual things going, right, and you guys got to get and lay down and everything, I'm gonna say it one more time. That young brother is not obligated to take care of that young lady. Cause here's the thing, he will be a messed up dude if he ain't taking care of that kid. That's the thing for me. So what I don't like at times is that the young lady wants to make it seem like, well, if you're not to take care of me, right, then well, you're not gonna be able to see your kid.
So let me push back a little bit, man. I'm gonna agree with Esther in all honesty, and it's not to say that a man is obligated by any means to do anything. What I want to say is, why not try? Like, if I understand you had sex with a random girl, or she wasn't really random, you put down and got her. And what I don't want us to drift away from and make this like it was a one night stand at the club. We're talking about young people in the church. So most likely you grew up with this girl and you probably like this girl. And the fact that she get pregnant, yeah, y'all wasn't in a relationship, but why not try to make a relationship work initially, as opposed to just being like, nah, but I'll help out the baby. I feel like if that's your initial thought, like you're not even trying to build a family, and you about to bring a child into this world.
See, when you say it like that, then I don't want to blame it on the girl, but Buddy never had no interest of being in a relationship. You know what I'm trying to tell you? If you're saying like they've been together in a relationship, they was friends and then they graduated.
Because I want to stay specifically for youth in the church.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They was friends growing up in the church, and they got the feelings got, you know.
I mean, she started to develop, and a young homie got horny. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know, mine's one. So
They both got horn.
They both got horny.
That's what I'm
of
saying.
course, it's both sides.
Yeah.
So now they come together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they still on good terms.
Right. They
There's
was on
nothing
good terms.
wrong
They was
with
on good
him
terms while they was smacked like all
Helping
that.
out. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like the reason where I think Neff's coming from is if like they were both hot in church, because you know there's hot kids in church as well.
Yeah, and they like each other.
You know what I'm saying? And then they both run into each other.
Right.
So now there's no real like connection, no real relationship there.
Yeah. Both of them were just trying to get it off.
Exactly.
And even if they were in like a committed relationship, right? You feel me? What the heck do they know about committed relationship at that age? They probably have some type of feelings and they're trying to grow something, right? But they don't really fully know what's going on with life. They feel like,
that's why you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. You feel me?
That's what I'm trying to say.
So they don't really. Both of them. I'm gonna say the young lady and the young man. They probably don't even know what's really going on. But because it feels
it's not probably, bro.
no.
But